This is the Bengals Pulse, the heartbeat of our victorious Cincinnati Bengals.
Can't miss player. I really do. A lot of people think I'm crazy. I think when he gets on the field, he's going to produce. He's going to produce at a high level.
They are almost unbeatable in December and January.
We're on another level. Thank you.
And I am going to become the first Bengals broadcaster to call a Super Bowl title. It's happening.
Yes.
It's happening. It's here.
In a row, Mon. 10 in a row. Good day, Bengal fans. He is Mon, Eric. I am Jake. This is the Bengals Pulse, the heartbeat of our Cincinnati Bengals. Guys, we're coming off of conference championship weekend. The Patriots and Drake May versus Seattle and Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about that just a little bit, but tonight it's more about our Cincinnati Bengals. Mon and I are going to try to fix this roster the best we can using free agency. Guys, make sure you comment in the comment section. Let us know who you think. We're going to be going through positions of need. We are going to be going through free agents that we want. If there's free agents out there that you want, make sure you comment in the comment section. We'll try to get to as many as we can. Before we get started on this action-packed Tuesday night in Bengaldom, Mon, how you doing, bud?
Doing good. Doing really good. Cold in Florida. I tell you, I stunned how cold it was. I worked at the fire department last night, and I just couldn't believe how cold it was when we woke up. But nothing like my daughter's in Massachusetts, and she's in the chat now. I think they have 14 inches of snow.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, she had to get her car, the snow off of it. And friends got shovels. Then it snowed for another 2 hours after that. So all the work they did basically was for nothing. But all's good, and let's talk football.
It's crazy, guys, right now. It is free. I just got back from practice. It is freezing cold in Florida. It's in the 30s, I think, with wind chill. Eric, how you doing, buddy? You good?
Yeah, we gotta tamp it down, complaining about it being in the 30s, because as a former Midwesterner myself, when it hits 33 degrees, you go outside in shorts and a t-shirt. So yes, it's cold. It's not good when you're adjusted to it in Florida, but it could be worse. So grateful that we're not stuck in all that snow like all of our northern friends are. We're happy that you guys joined us. What else are you gonna do? Shoveling snow is not as fun as listening to the Bengals Pulse debate free agents. Before we get into that, I'm gonna throw a little curveball here because we're gonna get into free agents, but this is part of it. One little bit of breaking news: we saw a ominous tweet from Gino Stone with the peace sign. I want to get your guys' comments on Gino Stone given the peace sign. Is that similar to what we got from Mike Hilton last year when, not a popular decision for us, we wanted to keep him, but he also did similar. So Gino Stone saying peace out Cincinnati. Is that how you guys interpret it?
I did.
Yeah. I think his days are numbered. And Yash, 40 degrees is cold in Florida. And I'm not used to cold weather. Thank you, our friend in England. No, but yeah, I mean, he's gone, and I've made it crystal clear what I think of his play. I wish him the best. I'm trying to be classy. I think some of the Bengal fans are a little over the top on Twitter. You can be classy about it, but it didn't work out here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen players that come here and struggle. Sheldon Rankins, even Nick Scott. They go on and they play productive with the new teams. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gino Stone goes somewhere as a good pro next year. Maybe it's a system. Things just don't work out here. It didn't mesh. I don't know, man. I wish him the best, and we need better play at safety.
Mon, I think we have a better chance of seeing Bigfoot having drinks with a unicorn than we do of Gino Stone ever being good on any football team. Listen, Nick Scott maybe was a scheme thing, but Nick Scott could at least tackle every once in a while. Gino Stone, the scheme doesn't fix your shitty tackling, Gino Stone. I'm sorry. I'm with you. I mean, there's no reason to harp on the guy. I mean, it is what it is. The peace sign is a good sign. People were – I don't know if you went on to that post, but man, oh man, there were some crazy comments in there.
There was. It was brutal. It was
brutal. It was pretty brutal. And I mean, the thing is, I saved one of them, I think, somewhere, but it was pretty good. But guys, the Bengals are better without Gino Stone, and we're gonna fix that Gino Stone issue tonight. So hopefully, Duke, you are listening to this, because we are going to do your job for you, since you don't do a very good job of it yourself, Eric.
I guarantee
I wanna say
Duke,
something real quick.
was number one in the chat. Go ahead, Mom.
Can I say one thing about Geno Stone? I went back and I looked at all these draft profiles, all the knocks against him, all the concerns about Geno Stone coming out of college. It was true.
Yeah.
Honestly, he had that great little spurt with the Ravens. Kyle Hamilton, that defense was really good. Maybe they propped him up a little bit. He comes to Cincinnati, but every write-up, like multiple reputable draft sites, they were dead on. Everything we saw was projected years ago. So sometimes these draft analysts, these guys that have done it for years, they used to be scouts on other teams, they do get it right. And what we saw from Geno Stone was written when he was in college. And I just, find it interesting. We're about to talk about the draft in the next few weeks. Let's talk about free agency now.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. The only last thing on Geno Stone, maybe he just benefited from being on the other side of Kyle Hamilton. And then you got to put him out there as number one, and he's clearly not a number one.
Eric, I don't know if you remember this. Ma, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember when we signed him, we were very excited about it, right? Me included. I was very excited. The guy had 7 or 8 picks the year before. I'm like, we're taking the Ravens' best safety, and I'm saying all this crazy shit. And I remember, guys, that night on the show, there were comments in the comment section, Ravens fans trolling us, but they all said, just wait till he tries to tackle somebody. and they were right, which is hard for me to ever admit, but they were right. I mean, the guy he's the worst tackler in the league. The worst tackler in the league this year, Geno Stone. Peace out. Good luck to you, buddy.
He's got competition from a couple of our linebackers there.
Oh, yeah.
But let's get into this free agency. These last couple of years, the Bengals have missed, but they've been taking big swings. Geno Stone, they've gone out and tried to get the guys, but they've been missing. So we might have some optimism that they're going to actually go out and try again. You keep swinging, eventually you're going to hit the ball. So with that, we're going to get into this. I want to get from each one of you your top 4 or 5 positions that the Bengals need to target in free agency. So I'm going to go to Mon first, and then I'll go to Jake. Give me your top 4 or 5, thinking off the top of your head. And then I want a little debate between you two. If there's somebody Jake has someone that's not there on Mon's list and vice versa. And then we're going to prioritize the order and see where we can go fix this. So Mon first, give me your top 4, 5, 6, whatever you determine to be the ones that they have to go get in free agency.
Yeah, I'll try to give them an order here. Obviously, we just talked about safety. It's not number one to me. To me, it's defensive line, mostly defensive tackle, but I think I'm just going to categorize defensive line. I think we got some very promising edge rushers. I'm very happy with their potential. I need to see more. If there's players there, in the draft and free agency that can still reinforce that, by all means, do it. It's the defensive tackle spot that really concerns me. TJ Slayton was okay. He didn't come in and do what I expected him to do. I thought he'd be a little more effective. Wasn't bad, don't get me wrong, but I think we need more from him. BJ Hill is an above average defensive tackle. He played really well for the Bengals, but he's not going to give you 6, 7, 8 sacks like he did when he was platooning with Larry Ogunjobi. I think that was his best year in Cincinnati. He was fresh. We need another player like Larry O that can come in. We need an impact player on that defensive line. We need another big body also. I think that's what's killing our linebacker play. Pratt and Wilson at their best is when Reeder was there and that defensive tackle spot was dominating that interior offensive line of the opposing team. And those guys were just flying to the ball, making plays. We haven't seen that in 2-3 years. I think defensive tackle, defensive line is the key to that defense. Safety play, they're not athletic enough. Safety's number 2 to me. Battle to me is a keeper. I think Battle is an above average safety. He's a thumper. I think his tackling has to get better, but he's sort of a ball hawk. He does get around the ball a lot. I like that, but we need an athletic counterpart because Gino Stone wasn't it. I'm telling you, a sneaky, sneaky need. I have this at number 3, and you guys are probably going to disagree. Interior offensive line, and just follow me here. We got a keeper in Fairchild. We got a keeper. Okay. Reisner is a 1-2 year stopgap. All right. Good play. They're probably going to sign him to a 2-3 year contract. We need a long-term answer at right guard. I know we have Jalen Rivers, mixed results as a rookie. I don't know what's going on there. He's a later round pick. We need some fresh blood there, especially at center. Karras has 1 year left. McLaughlin, the guy we got from Ohio State, is with Detroit now. We don't really have a clear-cut center on this roster. They're going to have to draft one early. Interior offensive line could be an issue for us. And I'm telling you, I think it's a sneaky, sneaky need. Linebacker, obviously, we drafted 2 last year. I don't see them picking a linebacker super early. I think they think that defensive tackle play can help those guys. They will get somebody in free agency, though, a veteran, somebody that can mentor them. And tight end. Tight end is a big one. Noah Fant's not going to be back. I'm not a big T. Huddy guy. Eric All is coming off catastrophic knee injuries. I pray he can come back. I'm not expecting much from there. Gasecki is a journeyman. He's here for another couple years. Tight end is a sneaky need. They need to get younger there also. So that, to me, is my 5 biggest needs.
Jake, rebuttal, move those around. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I think 2 things Mon left off of there is head coach and defensive coordinator.
I was going to say, Yash put that in the chat before. Number 1 is head coach.
Hey, Yash, you and I are right here. Yash, we're right here. Yeah, head coach and defensive coordinator. I know. We can't put those on our list, but man, if we could fix those 2 needs, this team would be a lot better right away. But all right, let's. I'm definitely going to flip. I have safety first. I think the Bengals right now are rolling with the worst safety room in the entire NFL. And I think when you look at position of need, you have to look at that. That's got to be the first thing on the list is, how bad are they really? Well, ours are the worst in the league. We have, like Mon said, I think Jordan Battle's a keeper. I think he is a thumper, good on special teams, finds his way around the ball. He's the type of guy that you want. He's still young, so there's still some development there. Besides that, guys, I don't see a safety on this roster that is a legit safety in this league. I mean, I know you guys think Tyson Anderson, he's a great special teamer. I have no problem with him making this roster for special teams. He's not that type of a guy that can play safety right now and help this football team. Is he a guy that maybe could be a rotational guy? Maybe, but we're looking at we need elite caliber safeties on the back end of this defense. And I know safety is not like this loved position in the NFL. It doesn't have as high of a ranking as some of those other positions. But just think about how bad this defense has been since Jesse Bates left. And I don't want to keep harping on that. But this defense, the whole look of this defense has completely changed. I went back and I watched. They had some of the playoff games from 21 and 22. We had elite safety play in both of those playoff runs from Jesse Bates and Von Bell. We don't have that, and our defense it's been the worst in the NFL the last 3 years. So to me, the safety position's got to be priority number 1. It's not something that they can fix in the draft. It's something that has to be fixed in free agency, going out and getting a guy who is an elite talent that has played football before and understands the game and all that speed of the NFL, all that kind of stuff. Safety first for me. Second is I have edge rusher. but we can put those two together as far as the D line goes, because D tackle was number 4 for me. So, but we can combine those two if we want to combine those two. I think defensive line, like Mon said, there's some good quality guys there that came on strong at the end of the season, but we don't have an elite pass rusher. We don't. And again, you look back in 21 and 22, and we had an elite pass rusher, and then we had a couple above average guys whose numbers, like Larry O and BJ Hill and those guys, even Hubbard, getting 6 and 7 sacks in those seasons because we had that elite edge rusher in Trey Hendrickson. So to me, edge is number 1. But like I said, we can put D tackle in there because you can never not have enough D tackles. Mon said it. We know what we have in BJ Hill. I like Slayton a lot. I think Slayton played good football for us. McKinley Jackson is a guy that's coming on, that has looked good. But Jenkins did not look great those last couple football games he played in. So yes, D tackle is definitely a need, but edge rusher to me is definitely, I would put that above defensive tackle. Number 3 for me is linebacker. Listen, I know that we drafted these guys and we're trying to run with these guys. We are not going to win with those guys. We're just not. I mean, there's a large enough sample size to see that Barrett Carter is maybe a rotational linebacker in this league. He is not ready to take on that starting role. Demetrius Knight, I like him. I think he's a guy that could be that guy for us. I don't mind Demetrius Knight starting as long as we have a veteran middle linebacker in the middle of this defense. And I think that has got to be a priority. The Oren Burks thing, that did not work. He's not coming back. He is not. I don't think he is what the Bengals thought he was. He had that great run with the Eagles in the playoffs, but he's a special teamer at best. This team does not have a veteran presence in that linebacker room, and they need it badly. Our linebacker play was the worst in the NFL. The worst in the NFL. Safety, the worst safety room in the NFL, and the worst linebacking room in the NFL, both on the same football team, is why the Bengals were ranked 31st in defense in the NFL. After that, after those 3 positions, which I really would love to see them spend a lot of money on in free agency and with draft picks, then I think at that point, I don't know if there's another need in free agency after those 3 positions. Again, defensive tackle I had 4th, so I was kind of separating those 2. So that was my top 4. But obviously, the Bengals can always use offensive linemen, right? So I hope they go out and get Dalton Risner and get him re-signed. I think if they get him re-signed, and maybe go after a swing tackle if we don't like Cody Ford, maybe even a swing guard. Obviously, Lucas Patrick is not coming back. So I'm good with 4 being offensive line. Again, you can always not go wrong with offensive line. I'm going to tell you a really sneaky one is running back. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Because Chase Brown is a stud. I love Chase Brown. Samaje Perine, I'm a huge fan. I want to see Samaje back on this roster. But to me, you can never not have enough good running backs. You see some of these teams in the NFL. Look at the Seattle Seahawks, right? They lose Charbonnet. They don't miss a step with Kenneth Walker. I mean, they have 2 stud running backs, and they're playing in the Super Bowl. To me, we don't have a third back. I think if we thought that Taj Brooks was going to have to go out and start a football game, that we would be in serious trouble. So to me, I think running back is a sneaky need as well. So those would be my five. I'm good with the tight end position. I, I do agree that obviously, I don't want to say his career is over, but I don't think the Bengals can put their eggs in the basket of Mr. Hall, like Mom was talking about. I agree with them. He had catastrophic injuries, so I don't think they can put those eggs in that basket. But I think Gesicki, Drew Sample. I'm a T. Huddy guy. I'm really good with that tight end room, and you can never not have enough corners either. But I love the Bengals corner room with those two young guys now. Um, so that would be my top five. Ron.
I got you. That's fair. I mean, the thing about the running back situation, I don't think they have another Chase Brown kind of running back. Josh Brooks is a thumper like P. Run.
Yeah,
Brooks is 220, 230 pounds.
yeah,
I can see if they want to run their offense the way they run it with that explosive running game, scat back kind of guy, they have to get another Chase Brown type. I just want to say something. I think the key to the Bengals, their heyday, that 2 years back-to-back AFC championship, the quarterback of the defense was DJ Reader. He controlled the middle. He controlled the line of scrimmage. Nobody could run on the Bengals. The Bengals stuffed people. They destroyed them. The Bengals gave up 2,500 yards rushing last year. 2,500 yards rushing and 5.2 yards per carry. I don't care who's playing safety. If you can't stop the run like that because you're getting manhandled. I'm sorry, TJ Slayton wasn't that good last year. He was average. He really was. He was our big marquee signing in free agency. He's a good marginal player. I don't want him cut. I want him to be on the team because I think he'd be a great platoon player. Bring back DJ Reader if he gets cut. That'd be a great 1-2 punch there to help each other out. They have to get better at stopping the run. I agree with you on linebacker. I really do. But I think better defensive line play will help those guys. And you know what? I'm going to give them a mulligan here. The rookies, they got thrown in, their heads swimming. They weren't exactly set up to succeed by this organization. Let's see if the light bulb comes on in year 2, year 3. We'll see how it goes. I expect better play from them. And I'm telling you, if there's not better play, they better not just keep on trotting them out. They better bring in somebody that can play. That's a big one. But, I don't disagree with your list. It's pretty good. To me, tight end, I'm sorry, Gesicki's an older guy. I don't think All's coming back. And I want to be wrong, fans. I want to be wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think, we're going to have to get somebody there that could potentially play for a few years. Linebacker, I think center. We don't, guys, I don't want Karras in 2027, 2028. They better find a center that's going to be our center for the next 7-8 years. And it's going to have to be in free agency or the draft. So they need to consider that. To me, that's why I put interior offensive line up there.
So let's start looking at some of these free agents. Throw them up on the screen. DJ Reader, according to this list, is a free agent, so he doesn't have to be cut for them to go grab him. The one thing, the big name that jumps out to me that you just mentioned is Tyler Linderbaum. We need a center. We could go out there, sign Tyler Linderbaum, move Ted Karras over to guard, and you've solved 2 problems. You can still bring Dalton Reisner in. So looking at the top 100 list, and this is from WalterFootball.com. Mon's got a list up. I think Jake's got a list up. But top free agents, George Pickens. Obviously, we're not going after him. But Tyler Linderbaum is the number 2 free agent, followed by Trey Hendrickson, Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Breece Hall, Darius Washington. So which position are we going to go after first?
Let's go safety, then we'll do defensive tackle, defensive end. Is that cool, Jake?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know too. I don't know if our viewers can see this, but every player was giving they rate them by stars. So if you see those stars, that's what that is. So some players will have. I haven't seen any 5-star. I think just looking through this, but there's some 4.5 stars. That just obviously is their way of ranking them. You can see the stars next to their age.
So the top 2 safeties are Darius Washington, 26 out of Baltimore. Brian Cook, 26 out of Kansas City. Would be great to steal players from our rivals. Reed Blankenship, 27. Jalen Hawkins. Jaquan Brisker. Tell me if any of these are jumping out at you guys.
Well,
I
let me
love,
just say,
I
go
love
ahead.
Cook. No, I'm sorry. Brian Cook's a Bearcat. He knows
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
That's what I was
He's
gonna say.
6'1", about 210 pounds. He's made a lot of plays for Kansas City, well coached with Spagnuolo. Bring him home. He'd be an immediate upgrade. Only at 26, that's huge. His best football is still ahead of him. Somebody like him, you sign him, drop the money, pay him. Let's get him for 4 or 5 years. Give him that big deal. He's going to be your safety. You don't have to worry about that spot for the next 4 or 5 years.
So that's your ideal target.
That's what I was going to say. Is Cook is a Cincinnati guy. I could see that alone being a good fit. He's coming off of his best season of his career. He's still a young guy, like Mon said. I'm gonna tell you one that I really like, and my buddy's a big Bears fan. He raves about this guy. But that's Jaquan Brisker. Jaquan Brisker, 27. Again, I don't know enough about him to jump on the bandwagon completely, but I will tell you this: he was banged up the year before. He was healthy this past year, and he was one of the leaders on that Bears defense. Again, I'm not saying the Bears defense was great or anything like that. He does have some injury issues, but Jaquan Brisker, I think, is a guy who I really like. I'm not saying I prefer him over Cook, but I would not be unhappy if Brisker came into Cincinnati. I think he is a plug and play guy right away, and I think he would be great for this Bengals defense. He's got a nasty attitude, and that's what we need right now. We need guys on this defense that are trying to go out and absolutely destroy people. Darius Washington, the safety from the Ravens, the only thing I'll say is, he first of all, I'm very scared about Ravens safeties. So that would kind of keep me away from him. And he also is coming off of a pretty serious injury. So I like Brisker and I like Cook, and I think those two guys would be my top two, Cook and Brisker, either one and two. But obviously for me, Caleb Downs if Caleb Downs is at 10 and the Bengals pass on him, I will lose my shit. I'm saying I will completely crash out if the Bengals pass on Caleb Downs. He is the best defensive player around in this draft. Caleb Downs right now could walk on this Bengals team and be the best defensive player on the defense. And I know that's not saying a lot, but Caleb Downs to me is the fix if he's there at 10.
No guarantees there. We're fixing it in free agency. Before we move on to defensive line, the Bengals often go and grab one top tier. Sometimes they grab two of the second tier or third tier. Are there any second tier safeties on here that you could see the Bengals bringing in if they don't get those guys?
I don't know if he's second tier, but he's a good player. And I want to give some credit to Zim. Zim brought this gentleman up 2 years ago when he left Washington. He was a free agent then. The Rams side signed Cam Curl. He's a good player. He's 6'2", about 200 pounds. He makes a lot of plays for the Rams. I think he might be just a notch below some of the guys that we mentioned. I would love to see him. He's only 26 years old too. Guys, he played really well for the Rams, and I would love to see him in stripes. I think he'd be a good addition.
Didn't he have the pick in overtime against the Bears?
He might. I think he did. You're right.
I think he did. I think Cam Curl had the pick in overtime that set up the Bears on that winning drive. So
yeah, I would love to see him. And Zim really talked him up. He wanted the Bengals to consider him a couple of years ago, and ended up getting Nick Scott. I just want to say one other thing. I know we're not going to jump. I'm jumping ahead here. The draft is coming up. Yeah, I'm all with you with the safety from Ohio State. He's a difference maker. But I'm telling you right now, at number 10, it's not safety is not a premium position in the draft. It's not. And to pick a safety in the top 10, he better be an Ed Reed type. And I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if it's an offensive lineman at number 10. But we'll talk about that in the future.
Oh, crash out.
Yeah. Well, and I think Duke listens to our podcast just for that. We're not going to take up all day on safeties. Let's go to defensive tackle now.
Let me just say one more thing about safety. Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals. You asked about that second tier safeties. Jalen Thompson, he is not, this incredible elite safety, but he does everything really well. Jalen Thompson, right there with Cam Curl. I like Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, thank you for that. Defensive tackles, a lot of these top guys are over 30, and we know how the Bengals feel like that with players that are over 30. DJ Reader, Mon mentioned before, David Onyemata, John Franklin Myers. We've got Levi Onwuzurike. Oh, Sheldon Rankins is a free agency again. We can go grab him. Calais Campbell, we've been talking about for years. Maybe the Bengals finally pull the trigger now that he's 40. Jake, why don't you go first? Give us your targets at defensive tackle here.
Well, and again, for me, this is a little bit lower on my list, but I know this sounds like an easy way out, but to me, DJ Reader just makes sense. I mean, listen, this defense you talk about, and we talk about all the times about Jesse Bates and how he transformed this defense. Just remember, when that defensive line was rolling, DJ Reader was in the middle of it. DJ Reader played so great in 21. Dude, he was lights out, elite. The best, you could say he was the best nose in football in 21. I think DJ Reader makes sense here. Now, I don't know if the bridges are burned. I don't know what that would look like. But he's actually too one of the younger of the top defensive tackles, and John Franklin Myers too. I think the guy from the Broncos defense. I don't think you can go wrong. And if I remember correctly, they were one of the top teams when it came to interior pass rush in the NFL. So John Franklin Myers, he's like 28, I think, something like that, like late 20s. I like John Franklin Myers. I think he would be a good get for the Bengals as well. Again, we need a guy that can come in and fill that Larry O role back in 21 where he got 6 or 7 sacks. And I like Franklin Myers from the Broncos. How old does it say he is there?
He's 29.
My glasses. What is he?
29.
29. So, late 20s, that's, you can roll with that for a couple years.
Mon, we've got Jay Tufele and Larry Ogunjobi available. Where are you going? You going to bring back everybody?
No, I think the one guy that's going to get the big payday here is going to be Franklin Myers. He's 29. He's going to get the giant contract. I think anybody the Bengals pick on this defensive tackle list is just a stopgap, 1-2 year guy. They have to target the draft. They have to get somebody early for the future. They don't have an impact player on that defensive line. They don't have a difference maker on that defensive tackle. They don't.
Agreed.
I think DJ Reader could come in and be a platooning type with Slayton. That would be great. There's guys on here. We talked about this a few weeks ago when the Bengals were still playing football. But a 40-year-old Calais Campbell would lead the Bengals in sacks this year. He had 6.5 sacks for the Cardinals. Going out and getting a 34, 35, 36-year-old defensive tackle for 1, maybe 2 years, hey, that's okay. These guys can still play ball. The Rams, some of these really good teams, they have 35, 36-year-old defensive tackles. Let's go out and get one. They could be a mentor. What's it going to hurt? What's it going to hurt? Our defensive tackle play, if you look at the stats, you look what this defense did, they weren't very good, guys. They were not good at all, and I think that sets the tone of this defense. You have to be strong up the middle, defensive line, linebacker, and safety. That's our biggest weakness on defense. But I think everybody on this list, it's ho-hum. It's not a great free agent class. There's probably a couple players in there that could be good depth pieces, but they're really going to have to hit the draft if they want to improve defensive tackle.
Well, Mon, let me ask you this. Let me ask you while we're talking about this. Are you pooping? Are you poo-pooing my John Franklin Myers? Because I understand he's probably going to be the payday on here. You don't think the Bengals would give John Franklin Myers a payday? I mean,
I don't think
right. You're right. Duke Tobin said, "I want to fix this thing from the trenches and work my way out." If Duke Tobin if that's his mindset, why would you not go out and throw money to probably the best defensive tackle on this list in John Franklin Myers? You don't think the Bengals would do that?
I'm all for it. I just think the Broncos are going to find a way to keep him. I think the center for the Ravens is staying a Raven. They're not going to let elite players leave. I'm not saying he's elite, but he's the best player in this free agent class. Listen, Tier Tart, they met. Paul Dehner mentioned it on his podcast. Tier Tart's got a $12 million, got a 3-year contract, averaging $12 million a year. Tier Tart. What's John Franklin Myers going to get?
Yeah,
I mean, think about that.
I know. I know. I'm just curious. I'm just asking you.
I'm not saying boohoo for the Bengals. I'm sick of this Walmart mentality. Man, they got to get up and they got to start paying players and quit conditioning like, oh, we got to save money for this. We got to do this. We got to worry about this guy's extension in 3 years. Go out and sign players. Go out and do it. You know what? They're not getting it done the way they're working. Hey, I would rather you go out, spend $20, $30 million. Okay, man, the guy's a bust. It sucked. You wasted $20 million. Guess what? At least you tried. You know what? It's no different than what we're having now. But hey, I salute you for at least going out there and trying to make it happen. They don't even do that. I don't know, but to answer your question, I would love it if Duke Tobin signed him. I would love it.
Yeah, we heard from Duke last year that he didn't want to roll back with the same guys, and he did. And I'll go back to Zach's quote, "I see better than I hear." So tell me all the guys you want to sign, but until I see it, I'm not going to go swinging for the fences. Looking at this, though, we're going to move on to defensive end here, but it really, to me, feels like with the age of most of these guys, you're going to have to fix it in the draft because at most it's a couple year stopgap, and I don't see them throwing all the big money out there for a guy that's 29. That's just not the Bengals' way. Moving on to defensive end or edge, obviously Trey Hendrickson is the top target out there. Let's go because we're getting late on the time already here. Let's go with your ideal targets here outside of Trey Hendrickson. I think we'd all love him to be back. It's probably not going to happen. Mon, who's your ideal target here for the Bengals?
I mean, he's going to be one of my all-time favorite Bengals. I don't think he's going to come back. On this list, there's an LSU teammate of Joe Burrow, Chazon from the Patriots. He's bounced around the league a little bit. I think he was drafted by the Raiders. Really came on for the Patriots. He's going to play in the Super Bowl next week. I think he had 6, 7, 8 sacks this year. I could see the Bengals targeting somebody like him. He's going to want some money. Draymond Jones, a guy that cheap shotted Joe Burrow this year. I think he's an LSU guy too, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody like that. You know what I mean? Some people might think it's a little bit of fool's gold. I love the talent this team is accumulating on the defensive end at that position. I need to see more production. I get it. But Cedric Johnson, players like that don't get enough credit. Miles Murphy started to turn it around. We do need another veteran in there. I'm not saying we don't. I'm still high on Shamar Stewart. He's a first-round pick. I like some of our young guys there. So, but there's a big list. The defensive ends in free agency, definitely a lot better than defensive tackle. Draymond Jones, Chazon, our guy Joseph Osai, are we going to bring him back? I mean, I'm 50-50 on that. I don't know, but there's a lot of reputable guys out there. Some guys a little older, like Malcolm Kuntz for the Raiders 2 years ago before he tore his knee. He was on pace to being a 15, 16 sack guy a year, opposite Crosby, but he tore up his knee. His rehab, he hasn't fully gotten back to where he was, but somebody like that, I'd roll the dice with him. But there's a lot of options at defensive end.
Jake?
My guy's Chazon. I think he is a perfect fit for this Bengals defense. He's a vet, which they need, right? Mon talked about all this young talent. Chazon, guys, I don't know if you've watched this guy play in the playoffs. He has been nasty. He is lights out good in the playoffs. Obviously, for me, Trey Hendrickson's number one on my list. I know uh, I might be the odd man out when it comes to that, but I just think Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals have got to find a way to bring him back. I know. There's a sour taste. I get it. You know, a lot of Bengal fans think he quit on the team this year. I get it. But for me, Trey Hendrickson has got to be number one on this list. I think we lost Eric. Has got to be number one on this list, Trey Hendrickson. Chase on to me, Mon. I absolutely love him. I think he would be a home run get for this Bengals. Again, we need a veteran presence in that room, just like we need in the linebacker room. This list has Joseph Asai as the seventh best edge rusher, right behind Khalil Mack. I don't know if I agree with that. Draymond Jones, again, I hate the guy because of the cheap shot and all that other shit. But Draymond Jones would not be a bad get here either. I think Jones and Chason both under the age of 30. Chason only being 27, Mon. I just think it would be a home run.
Yeah, you know,
I've seen being you know how they do all the free agency lists, who fits where and all that. I have seen a lot of Joey Bosa to the Bengals. He's the same age as Trey Hendrickson. I would not be happy with Joey Bosa to the Bengals. I think if you're going to go for a 31-year-old DN, Trey Hendrickson is already there. Give the guy some money and let's keep Trey. I do not want to see Joey Bosa. Every time I see that list and Joey is on it going to the Bengals, I hate it. But you know, Joe Burrow and that family, they are tight. And I think that's why they have Joey Bosa going to the Bengals quite a bit. But me, I'm a chase on guy. He's one of the top free agents on my list. Top 3 free agents on my list. Go out and get Chase on. I love him.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Boza either. I seen his name on a lot of mocks. People, want to do the connection with Joe Burrow. I think he's a walking soft tissue injury. He's so rocked up. And, I think injuries are going to be the remainder of his career. Him and his brother both, they got too much muscle on their body mass. I mean, everything is soft tissue. They're always getting nicked up. I worry about that because, some of these players, they lift so much weights. They're taking so much these supplements. I'm going to tell you this something right now. I think Joe Burrow works out too hard. I think he's becoming a soft tissue injury kind of guy. They need to be careful. And I think Joey Bosa, let's move on. I don't want him on the Bengals. Can he still give you a sack here and there? Absolutely. But he's just too many injuries over the last few years. I wouldn't be crazy about that. There are a lot of options in free agency to help reinforce the defensive line.
We didn't even talk about Jalen Phillips, right?
Yeah. You're going to want a lot of cash. You're talking 10, 18.
I know. But, I mean, traded at the deadline to the Eagles. Jalen Phillips might not be out of the question. The Bengals have a lot of money to spend, Mon. They got to spend it somewhere. It's got to be somewhere on defense. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, because we're 43 minutes in. We got to get through some of these here because we got to get this position fixed.
Let's get to one.
Linebacker. So it's broken out by interior linebacker, outside linebacker. So I went to interior first.
Yes.
Any guys jump out at you guys quickly for this? Jake, you first?
Oh, hell yes, Eric. Listen, if you are talking about one of the best positions in free agency, it is inside linebacker. You have Devin Lloyd from the Jaguars, 27 years old, would be a huge get for the Bengals. Again, we're talking about some serious payday here, but Devin Lloyd – come in, put Barrett Carter's ass on the bench where he belongs. Let him be a rotational guy. Let him learn a little bit. Devin Lloyd at middle linebacker makes this defense a lot better right away. I know Matt Milano. I know everybody likes him, but he is very injury prone. He's 31. I don't know if he helps the Bengals, but I'm going to go right back to another 31-year-old, and that's Alex Anzalone from the Detroit Lions. I love him, absolutely love him. I would love to see him in stripes. Guys, there are so many good middle linebackers out there, very young, talented guys. N'Kobe Dean from the Eagles. Dude, there's guys out there that would make this Bengals defense so much better. The question is, Al Golden, is he going to put his job on the line again with Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight? I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Bengals are going to go out and get a veteran middle linebacker right away that's going to help fix this defense. But you look at all those. Look at the Alex Singleton. I mean, there are guys on this list that are so much better than what we have. You talk about being able to go out and just grab a good position in free agency. Middle linebacker is that position, Mom.
Yeah, you named a lot of them there. I think the Bengals. I think they're dialed in with their 2 rookies. They are going to bring in a veteran to mentor them. I would be stunned if they bring in a younger guy. I could see like a Demario Davis. They mentioned that on Bengals.com and some of the other websites. He's 36, 37 years old, but he played for the Bengals linebacker coach when the linebacker coach was in New Orleans. He would be perfect. He's still productive. He could come in and help those guys out. If they do want to go for a younger guy, you mentioned Dean. I like. He's only 25, but a guy that played under Steve Spagnuolo, who I respect, Leo Chanel from Kansas City would be a great get for the Bengals, a really great pick. Just remember, the Bengals keep 5 or 6 linebackers. That's it. They're probably going to draft another one, and so that's 3. They love Giles Harris as a special teamer only, and it's going to leave one more spot for a solid, gristled veteran that could come in. That's what that group really struggled with last year. The more I think about it, for them to start 2 rookies, I mean, their heads had to spin. I mean, that just doesn't happen in the NFL. And, buddy, we saw the results. It was pretty ugly.
It was awful.
And we'll see. I expect better play from them, but they are definitely going to sign a linebacker in free agency. Is it going to be the 35-year-old vet that's going to come in and mentor? Could they roll the dice with a 25-year-old guy like Chanel? I would like to see that, actually, because he's been a good player for Kansas City.
What about N'Kobe Dean, 25 years old?
I mean, he's on the smaller side. He's on the smaller side.
Yeah, I know, coming off injury. I know. But when you talk about, a guy that's a little bit younger that could come in right away, I mean, he's better than Barrett Carter. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we're trying to do is obviously replace Barrett Carter. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do, at least. All right, Eric, we're good.
Yeah, we're already 48 minutes into it, so I want to throw a couple of your other ones out there. Maybe get some rapid fire on people that you would want to go out for. Mon had interior offensive line, so I'm going to go to guard first. Obviously, I think we're all on record that we want them to re-sign Dalton Reisner right now. Any of these guys jump out at you that could come in and take that starting job from him?
I mean, I'm really, when I said interior offensive line, I was really I should have just said center. I should have just said center, because to me, that's the big issue. Could a couple of the guards come in and play that spot? I mean, don't forget the guy, Patrick, he's not going to be on the Bengals next year. He was going to be our backup center if needed. Batonio's older. He's played a lot for the Browns. He was an all-pro. I think his better football's behind him. Still, Malu from the Steelers is a little older. He was hurt. Vera Tucker, I loved him in the draft from USC, went to the Jets, but he's come off multiple injuries, including an ACL. I don't know. I just don't know about that. But listen, Wyatt Teller's on this list. And just follow me here. Wyatt Teller played for Scott Peters, and he loved him. Now, I know Reisner is going to be our starter. Wyatt Teller, if he signs with the Bengals, he's going to want to start. So I don't see that happening. If something doesn't work out with Reisner, he doesn't sign with the Bengals, which I don't expect. Don't be surprised if the Bengals target Wyatt Teller. But I just want to switch the center. There's a couple guys there. Obviously, we know who we know the center from the Ravens, he's not leaving Baltimore. There is no way they're going to let Linderbaum leave. There is no way. I mean, I would love to see him leave, but there's a guy from from the Buffalo Bills that's going to be available. What was his name? He's on the list here.
Connor McGovern.
Connor McGovern. Karras, obviously. Well, he's not a free agent. Karras signed with the Bengals.
Yeah, so I'm not really 100% on this list now because he's not a free agent. So
no, he's not. But he signed early in the offseason. I don't know. I think they're going to hit center with the draft, but interior offensive line, you could like Jake said, swing tackle, swing interior offensive lineman. They have to get better at those two spots because I don't think Cody Ford makes the Bengals next year.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think Cody Ford. I think Cody Ford makes the Bengals, but not saying that I'm one
catch. Let's see what one catch did, Eric. One catch.
He suddenly now Jake has the wide receiver love for Cody Ford.
Listen, the Bengals love him. They absolutely love this guy. I just see Cody Ford making it. I'm gonna jump to running back because I know we don't have a lot of time left.
Yep.
And this list of running backs, guys, is crazy. It is crazy good. Again, we talked about middle linebacker. This running back room: Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams. Aguilar. He's basically the exact same thing as Samaje Perine. Kenneth Gainwell. You talked about an explosive back, Kenneth Gainwell coming out of the backfield. He catches every. I think he was like one of the top receivers on the Steelers this year. Rashid White, Brian Robinson. I know he's coming off injury, but Rico Dowdle from the Carolina Panthers breakout year. Isaiah Pacheco in stripes. There are enough running backs in free agency that the Bengals could go out and get somebody that would just make that running back room better. Look, guys, the two teams that are playing in the Super Bowl, both of those teams have stud running backs, 2 stud running backs. The Patriots have 2 studs, and the Seattle Seahawks have 2 studs. It does not hurt to have 2 stud running backs. I love Samaje Perine. I'm not sure I would put him in that category. We need another stud running back, and I would feel great about it.
I love what you're throwing down here, but they're 2 separate offenses. The Bengals don't run that offense. I wish they would. I wish they would have that because you know what? Sam Darnold's a productive player because guess what? He doesn't have to carry the team. Sam Darnold, to me, is Andy Dalton with a little more talent. That team is the Bengals from 2015. That's the 2015 Bengals when I watch Seattle. Better defense. But that reminds me of the 2015 Bengals. And I wish the Bengals would transition to have a 2-headed monster at running back. I agree with you. I pulled up PFF real quick. PFF has our guy, Dalton Reisner, as the 8th rated interior offensive lineman in this free agent class. They have to get a deal with Reisner. They have to.
I agree.
That is essential. And I think you said it, Jake. I think we both said it a few weeks ago. We are going to see what happens with the Cincinnati Bengals in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
If Dalton Reisner isn't signed the week or 2 weeks before free agency, it's going to be the same old shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same old shit, hardball fucking football where they just can't sign players. And it's going to be the same crap. And I hope it's not. We're going to find out in 4 to 5 weeks if this offseason is going to be different. We're going to find out. This is the time you go out and you sign a DJ Turner. This is the time you go out and you sign some of these young guys. Don't lowball them. Get the ball done now. Let me ask you guys, I know we got to go. Last question from me. Do you think they brought this up on Mo's show and Paul Dehner, great discussion. Is it going to be DJ Turner, Dax Hill? Can they keep both? Or is it going to be one stays, one has to go? I mean, I don't want a Jonathan Joseph, Leon Hall. We got 2 guys that are pretty solid players. They have got to try to keep both. Do you think they can keep both?
Go ahead, Eric.
I think they can keep both. I think that they got to sign one of them or extend one of them this offseason because if they all do what they've been training to do, they're both going to be really good this next year, and then they're going to both be wanting big paydays. I think you need to lock one of them up now and then work on that other extension next year. Because if you go into next year trying to lock them both up, you're not going to do it.
Who would you lock up first?
DJ.
I agree. That's what those two guys said. They said, lock up DJ, see what Dax can do this year. He was coming off an injury. He only played 7 games at boundary corner, and then lock him up next year. The deal is they're good homegrown talent. I think the Bengals, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a homer. I'm about to, but I think our corners could technically, if they keep on trending the way they are, they're going to be top 7 unit in the NFL. I really think our corners, I didn't say safeties, cornerbacks, they're pretty damn good.
They're good. And you know, no Cam Taylor-Britt. Obviously, I don't think Cam Taylor-Britt's coming back. He might. Who knows? He might come back on a 1-year deal. Eric talked about that last week. But that's one of the reasons why I don't have corner on my list, because I feel good about Dax. I feel good about DJ Turner. I think the Bengals cornerback room it's solid.
Pretty well coached. I think the cornerback coaches do a good job.
Yeah, it's solid. Dax Hill's trending up. I mean, listen, with everything that they've done with Dax Hill, moving him around, moving him to 8 different positions and all that shit, I think he is trending up now. I think they found the position for him. But DJ Turner, to me, DJ Turner, you've got to re-sign him. Like you said, Mom, before free agency starts, re-sign him, re-sign Reisner, and let's rock and roll in free agency.
Before we get out of here, one wild card. Would you guys bring Cheeto back?
Oh, God, yeah.
Backup depth role?
Absolutely.
Would you bring back who?
Cheeto.
Oh, hell yes.
Cheeto would be,
hell
he
yes.
would be amazing. You know what? They mentioned that on their pod also. He would be a great backup corner, could come in, great mentor.
Oh, yeah, in a heartbeat. I love Cheeto. Cheeto. I would.
Absolutely. Great question. I
would take him back tomorrow.
Brucey, come on, man. Bruce said no.
Brucey.
Listen,
I don't want doctors. I don't want those things, man. Get rid of them.
Joe Burrow needs his chess partner to come back, and that was Cheeto. Let's get some more mentorship in that whole locker room. I don't know. I think we fixed it, guys. I think we fixed the Bengals with all these.
I think we fixed it. We just spent, listen, Mon and I just spent
57 minutes and we fixed it.
We just spent a shit ton of money. That's what we did. And probably none of that, like every year we do this show and then free agency hits and none of our guys get taken.
Listen, the start of free agency last year, I took the whole day off thinking that we were going to be breaking news left and right, and we got a BJ Hill extension. And that was
Mike Brown, Katie.
Else.
We tore up the Walmart card. We're shopping at Kohl's, baby. Woo, Kohl's cat.
Kohl's.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals didn't offer their guys, hey, we've got $1,000 in Kohl cash. You can't spend it until between September 2nd and September 12th.
Is Kohl's a Florida-based company? I don't think our friends in Kentucky and Ohio know who. Is Kohl's up there?
Kohl's are all over the place.
Yeah, Kohl's.
I thought it was a Florida company. Yeah, we're going to shop. We're shopping at Kohl's. Heck yeah.
We're going to be shopping at Publix, getting those BOGOs. Hopefully it's BOGO subs this week because we need to get our value anyway.
All right. Well, hey, let's. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about? I know we got to get out of here, but hey, so far free agency's been really good. Why? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers have completely shit the bed. Good job, Pittsburgh. Good job. Mike McCarthy is going to do wonders for you. Great job, Pittsburgh. I love it, Schittsburg. Keep up the good work, Pittsburgh.
Hey, on top of that, it's most likely that Aaron Rodgers will be back, or the most possible now that his old coach is there.
Keep it up, Pittsburgh.
I'm glad. No, finish up.
No, I was just going to say, Pittsburgh, keep it up. Keep your focus. Mike McCarthy, build it around him. And
5-year contract.
I know, it's crazy.
You know what I love? I mean, our friends Ace and Zim, they're the happiest people that the Rams lost because Me and Jake, we sort of sticking up for him. We're sort of the shadow Rams fans because we like Stafford and all that. And they're giving us hell over it. I love it.
Hey,
they got our ring, guys. Leave them alone.
Ace, I know you're listening, Ace. I know you're listening. I don't ever want to hear you compare Sam Darnold to Matt Stafford ever again, Ace. Do not do that. Do not ever do that again. Darnold's not even in Stafford's league. But
Darnold is Andy Dalton. Darnold is Andy Dalton, man. He really is.
Yeah, he really is. All right, I know we got to get out of here. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, if you like this podcast, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you check us out on all the awesome podcast platforms, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. As always, guys, if you like this podcast, give us that 5-star review. We very much appreciate that. As always, follow Mon on Twitter at @TheFireMon. Follow me on Twitter at Coach Jake Owens 9. Follow Eric on Twitter at eFlash with 2 H's 88. Follow Winston Podcast Network on Twitter at Winston Pod. And as always, guys, please follow the Bengals Pulse on Twitter at the Bengals Pulse. The same on Instagram and TikTok without the the Bengals Pulse. Follow us everywhere. We appreciate it so much. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Mike, Katie, you heard Mon. Duke, you dumbass. Watch this show and fix this roster. We love you guys.
That was Jake, not Mon. I'm a nicer Mon. I'm not angry during the offseason. Duke, you're a nice man. Don't F it up.